Good morning, everybody, and today on Trinny London Facebook, we're going to do my favourite trios. Now, I've got a few out here. Hold on, I'm just going to get my fingers caught in my drawer. But whilst you're all joining, and let me just leave a message because I can't see any of you. 1 second, there we go. Favourite trios, fave, O-U-R-I-T-E, T-R-I-O-S. I think that's written correctly. Okay, there we go. Yes, hello everybody. Welcome. Because it is such an anomaly, there's sometimes when I can't see your comments. Today is one of them. So I have got Esme here to be able to read out your comments and ask things to swatch. But we did do a Facebook Live on Wednesday and I could see your comments. So God only knows why. It is different each time, but it just is. So before we start trios, which I've got a few here, I'm just going to prep my skin and then I'm going to do some on my face and on my arms as well. So I'm just going to prep with, oh, that's something I can't show you yet. Excuse me, let me go back to something I can. And you know what's awfully funny is I've gone from light medium to light. My skin has got really pale. Esme, yes, tell me. Any questions already?
No questions, but there's people saying morning from a cold and rainy Cape Town, from Perth, Boston.
Hello, everybody.
New Zealand.
Good morning. There we go. So, just put a base on. It's a sunny day in London, and so I do want to have really good coverage against the sun, because usually my little routine is I'll go downstairs in about half an hour with Lila, we'll have some lunch, I'll sit outside having a herbal tea, and then I'll come back in here and work. So it's very precious to me to get that vitamin D, just not internally, because vitamin D, as I'm sure you know, you don't absorb if you have SPF on, but I just like to get the sun. So I've got my prep on. I did my brows yesterday with a tint, just thought I'd share that. And I thought, I was so impressed with how I'd done them. And Lila said to me, Mummy, do you think they're too strong? I used a mixture of blue and, brown and black. But I sort of love it. I love a strong brow, but it means we need a bit of makeup on, because otherwise I do look slightly Groucho Marx. Do I look Groucho Marx? You can be honest. So favourite trios. I have ones that are my go-tos when I do certain looks. So I thought I would do a couple of my go-tos. And I'm going to get out here because when I was doing a little research for something, I did all these little duos and trios here. And so I'm just going to show you a few very quickly. So, for example, sometimes when I wear Veebee on my lips and cheeks, like that, which is a lovely sort of peachy shade there, and on my cheek, and I will occasionally, to make it a full trio, I will put it on my eyes, Phoebe, as a washout. I'm very drawn to corally shades on my eyes, really washed out, and even though this is a lip to cheek colour, I can do that. And then I'll take Cordy, which I've put in this pot as well, and put it on top to give more of a pinky shade to the Veebee. And I can just have done that and go out, and I feel I've got a face on. Sorry, the light's not very good, but I hope you can see it. Do you see? So Veebee and Cordy, unusual, but works. That's how I'd put it. Unusual, but works. In this instance, I need to warn you, I'm going to use some wipes to clean my face off because I have otherwise no quick way of doing it. Put that one like that. And do fire away questions as I do this, Esme. Okay.
Yeah, and actually, Max just commented, what would be the most cheek colour for a man to wear?
Oh, I love men in blusher, and I think it's something that men don't do enough, because in blusher, as opposed to in bronzer, you just tend to flatten your whole face. And what I love about doing blusher as well, let me just put that back on there because I want to just have a clean face. Sorry, I'm going to put some under eye on too, because I just noticed I look a little bit tired under my eye. For men, depending, ask him what his skin tone is. Is he more olivey or pinky toned or caramel, or what's the shade? I just need to know his shade.
Olive Spanish skin.
Olive Spanish skin, so I'm going to show you what would be divine. Divine for olive Spanish skin. And I'm going to do a look with it too. But I can just show you the bare minimum. So, where is my little friend Freddie? My little friend Freddie. He's right here. So I'm going to take Freddie, which at the moment is a lovely fresh pot there. And Freddie was named after Federica. She's our Italian. She started at the very beginning of the business. Many of you might have known me mention Federica. But you can see it looks quite dark there. But on olive skin, you can use such a small amount like this. Tiny, tiny. There. And it just is enhancing your pigment. And then when you put it on your cheek, and when you're a man, exactly the same principle as a woman. I go from the nose to the eyeball, and I go to the chubbiest part of the cheek, and I literally, like when I'm doing a man, I do that gentle. It's just like you've had that flush after you've had very good sex. You know, your skin flushes. Gentle, really gentle like this. Do you see it? You hardly notice it, but it's giving life to your cheek in a very different way than it would if you did bronzer. So I just keep moving around on that flushy bit, and if you go up a bit over the top of your cheekbone, it then gives a really lovely emphasis on your eye shade, and you can just build that up. To me, it's one of the most universally natural looking shades when you're talking in the olive category. Freddie. There we go. If you're a man and you're a little bit paler, you could take the teeniest bit of Phoebe. Okay, which everything looks dark here, I'm afraid, because I haven't got the light in the right time. But do you see the difference between those two? And if I put a little bit of Freddie just as a wash there, you can see that. And if I put a little bit of Phoebe, it's sort of, in a way, brighter, but slightly pinkier, and I think it's nicer on a skin with less olive in it. There. But really soft. And then if I look at it like on, let's say, your skin, because I think my hand is slightly browner than my skin, so you can just see how that will look on your skin tone. So there's Freddie there. And you can really wash it out. So it's just a soupçon like that. But divine, and please can men consider to wear blusher more, because I think it's a new thing for men, and so many people would go to just doing a glow. And whilst we're here, I will show you that way that I will wear at this time of year a little bit of Soala, because even though we're doing trios, to me, a little trio I do might include Soala under my eyes. So I don't just use Soala on my forehead, but if I'm wanting a bit of a tan, I take this. It's the most incredible gel-like quality. You can, if you're paler, go for Genster, which is just more yellow, all right? And it's for skins from sort of Bambi to probably Trintron. So if I look at there, that's Genster. And then if I look at Soala next to it, there's Soala. Can you see that? Let me just do a bit more. So there's Soala. You can really build it up. Interestingly, quite a few women who live in Ireland with a real pale, classic old-fashioned Irish skin, we went there and they all bought Soala because they wanted to be browner. But Genster is probably a better shade if you're paler. So I put Soala on like that, and I'll put it on, it's especially for boys now, but also for girls, when you just want to have colour on your skin. But so many women wear fake tan and they layer it and layer it and layer it, and then they want to have a really good skincare routine. And what happens is blocking your pores so badly. I wore fake tan till I was 30 and I had such bad skin and it did not improve. And as soon as I sort of stepped away from the fake tan and I allowed my pores to get properly clean, it just helped my skin so much. So I tend to put, like, I will even do a little bit of Soala here, especially if I've done a Freddie, just to very gently give a little emphasis, because when I tan, I am tanned by those parts of my face which are the most bony. So I would actually put it there, and it the sort of, especially with a blusher like Freddie or a sort of slight darker blusher, it just then goes into a sweep. Then I'll put it on my nose, not contoury, but in a way that, oh, my nose got a bit burnt, and now 3 days later it's just looking nicely brown. But that slightly browner nose, which is something lots of people try to cover up with a concealer if they've been in their front garden and they think, oh, I've gone and gotten my nose a bit too brown. It just looks very natural that you've been out in the sun. And the other little secret tip I do is, because it's very neutral Soala, I'll put it in the brow bone of my eye, like this, just to give a little emphasis on a day when I don't want to look like I'm wearing much makeup. And I just push back and forth, like that. There, and it just gives my eye a little something. And then I'll do the same on this side. There. And just push it like I'm pushing right into the brow bone. There. Something little, but not too much. So I think Soala is perfect for any time of the year, but especially now when you might want to have been on holiday or be coming back from holiday and showing off a tan. You can't. You can just get one at home. See, I can build it up and build it up. Don't go too near your hairline when you do it. Just think of where the sun hits you. There. So that's a mixture of Freddie lip to cheek and Soala, like that, which I love. And then in that little baby trio, I also put in a bit of Maddie, which is just, I had in my hand, yeah. So with Freddie, I love Maddie, and if I want to just, or Cordy, actually, I could do Cordy, but just to give a little bit of a lift to the depth of the lip. There. Fresh. I look so much healthier than when I started this film. Next questions, darling.
Someone's asking if you do a trio with Sacha.
Oh, I could do so many trios with Sacha. I mean, I could just like do endless ones, but I will do one because it's just great. Okay, so Sacha is a lip love shade, and it's one that actually I put on many, many women. It's a very neutral shade, and I can put it on cool-toned women. Well, not cool tone, but sort of neutral, cool, neutral, warm. I wouldn't put it on really warm tone or really cool-toned women. But that sort of means the majority of people can wear it. So when you wear Sacha, you can wear a little soupçon or you can wear something stronger. But I'm just going to neutralise my skin again with a bit more BFF, like that, so we can have a clean palette. There, like that. And then I'm going to, you know what I suddenly realised? I'm just going to try this. But is it better when I'm wearing something darker for you to see easily? Yes, it is, isn't it? You know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. Hold on a second. Because I just realised what makes it hard for you to see stuff is that I'm wearing, is when I'm wearing a light colour, because the white balance goes on the phone. So I'm just going to wear a sort of blue. I think you just see my skin better. Yeah, you see what I mean? Can you see Esme?
It's delayed, but yeah.
Oh, okay, but you just, I think now we can see my skin much better. So, heading for a bit of delightful Sacha, which I'm going to use a little tea kit. So you can start off with a bit of Sacha on your lips, which is going, and Sacha is our lip love, and our lip love has these sort of little microspheres that release, there it is, I'm nearly at the end, that release extra 3D effects, so it makes your lips look much bigger. So I'll start in a little, there. Like that. And it's slightly warmer, Sacha, as a shade. So I could do either. I could go towards Fortune, or I could be neutral. But the look I'm going to do today, because I'm going to bring some Sacha back into my eye shade, is I'm going to go to Mystery, just for that sort of really... Oh, do I do Chalice? Chalice and Mystery. Oh, I'm getting excited. Oh, Moon. I can do Moon. Could I do Moon and Mystery? Moon and Mystery, actually. I like Moon and Mystery. And I had Moon and Mystery somewhere. Where is it? Hang on a second. Hang on, because I did have Moon and Mystery. Or Mystery Magician. Yes, I'm going to do Mystery and Magician. These are two I put in one pot together, right? So I'm going to start off with a little bit of Mystery, because there's a neutralness about Mystery, which I like. There. And it's got a sort of vague yellowiness to it that's in Sacha. I know that sounds odd to describe, but it just goes well together. So you could do Mystery on its own, like that. There. Which is pretty. But then I'm going to go in with some Magician and just give it a bit more pizzazz. I think because also I put this shirt on, I'm thinking I'll go cooler. Like that. Any questions whilst I'm doing this, darling?
People are loving the look. They're saying it's much better with the blue top on.
Yeah, so much better, isn't it?
Sarah Bell says that she loves Chalice, always using it.
Yeah, I love Chalice. But with this, what I've done is I've done Moon and Mystery here very quickly for you, but I'm going to go back to a bit of the Sacha, and I'm going to just do a wash of it on top. So I sort of bring in that colour. Do you see I put a tiny bit there? Because I love to bring the warmth of whatever is on my lip in some way onto my eye. There. Gives you an idea, like that. There. And then I'm going to probably think, I could use Sacha on my cheeks. I could easily use Sacha on my cheeks, but I'm thinking, do I want to actually switch it out and do something else? So let me just put something underneath. I'm going to do... I might do Wiggs on my cheeks, actually. Wiggs does sit very comfortably with Sacha. So if you look at it in a pot together, it's really pretty together. And today I'm going to do Wiggs with my blusher brush. Because I want to get that very soft sweeping.
Trinny, will you just move a bit closer to the to your phone so we can see the makeup?
You see how that doesn't interfere with the colour of Sacha? There. So I've got on a little bit of Mystery and Magician to show them together. Like that. Then I put a tiny bit of Sacha over the top. And then I got Sacha on my lip, and I've got Wiggs on my cheek. Like that. I love that combination, actually. Oh, I might just save that for later. Thank you. So just to show you. Where's Wiggs gone? It's gone. But that combination with Wiggs. With Wiggs. Little trio. Okay, yes. Next trio you would like me to try?
They're asking for a trio with Phoebe.
Oh, let's do a trio with Phoebe. This is so nice. It's very relaxed. I hope you're feeling relaxed. But I haven't chatted to you guys for a few days. And I was feeling very stressed earlier. Earlier in the week I was stressed. Shouldn't have been. It was a bank holiday Monday. There was no reason to be. Everything was joyful. But in my body, I was a bit stressed. But I feel totally relaxed now. It's a Thursday. We've had a short week. It's the weekend. Day after tomorrow. Yeah, excited. Excited. I'm just going to put another little covering onto my skin so that I think I've got the wrong colour on. Hold on. What have I put on? Okay. Just to cover up. Okay, so we're going for Wiggs, right? And we're going for Phoebe, right?
Yeah, Phoebe.
Okay, fine. So a little bit of Phoebe coming your way. Phoebe was named after my partner's daughter. She's lovely. She's a gorgeous Phoebe. She has dark hair and she has she wears Bambi foundation and she has brown eyes. But it's, you know, that I always thought of those kind of lips that were like little rosebud lips from a Cupid, you know, that kind of thing. So I'm going to put a little bit of, funnily enough, I have no Miracle Blur left, so I'm putting a bit of face finish just around my mouth. It's something I used to use before we got Miracle Blur, just to take down redness. Not redness, just take down shine and even out skin tone a bit. It's like our powder alternative, and I always put a bit on my hand like that. It kind of slightly feels more powdery, even though it's not a powder, than Miracle Blur, but it does just give that smoothness and tone. I'm then going to take my tea kit, and I'm just going to start. And when I do a strong lip, you can do, I'll show you, if I did a really soft Phoebe, this is the different way that I can do Phoebe. Actually, I'm going to show you that, because I think it's interesting to see. I'm going to, I wish I had it here and I don't have it, which is so irritating. Yes, I do. Okay. You know, this is something sharing with the group. If I get out of bed and I feel, oh, I look dreadful and I want to look nice, but not like I've tried, I might dash this on, like that. And, you know, like in Bridesmaids, when she runs to the bathroom, puts on makeup, and then comes back to bed, and she pretends to be asleep and goes, oh, I woke up like this. This is the kind of product you could do that with. So I do a tiny bit on my cheeks, like that. And then I could do, just to keep it like it's my own lip, but better, a bit of Anna, our lip treat, which has a ton of hyaluronic acid and vitamin E in it. And do that. And just soften it, and then I'll take that last bit of the vitamin E and the Anna treatment and just buff up my blusher. And I could just do that, all right? So that's one way of wearing, Phoebe. And then just clean up my brows, go in with some Talika eyelash conditioning gel. There, and I'd be done. Simplest way to wear Phoebe. It's like gives you a whole look in nothing. I probably wouldn't put Phoebe on the back of my eyes, but maybe I want to actually be a bit more wowsy. So I'm going to go to, just thinking what eye I'm going to go to. I'm just going to see, because Phoebe sits in a sort of neutral, cool tone. So I'm tempted to actually do moon, if I'm trying to find out where I can find my moon. Where's my moon? Where's my moon? There's magician. Don't have any moon here.
Trinny.
Yeah. Oh, I've got
there's
it.
Just a few comments coming through, because I think your top's a bit sheer. So if you just move a bit closer, and then we can just see your face.
Thank you. Good. That's very kind of you. Let me just do that. Thank you for looking out for me. I just looked down myself and noticed it. So with this, I'm going to do some moon. So just to give that little tiny shimmery moment there. Like that. Just gives that twinkle on the inner part of your eye. There. So I just love that little, do you see that tiny shimmer open up? Just on this bit. Like that. Pretty soft light. Now it might be, I then think, oh, I want to do a full-on lip, so I'm going to go a bit more of the Phoebe. I usually start in the middle, and then when you're going to the outside, I did a very nice lip tutorial with Ray Morris, and unfortunately the quality was so bad we couldn't save it, but she's talked about how when we look at our mouth, there's this extra bit here, this line, and some people have a really line, and some people, their mouth ends where the line ends. But basically, she always feels you should put your lipstick on, however, whatever size your lips are, as if there's a white line going up and down here, so you don't quite go to the ends. So that means I start, usually I love to go to the ends, but I thought, okay, I'm going to hollow her out and start here. And then go out. And if you want, a little bit over. But in her mind, being a world-renowned makeup artist, she felt it gave women this beautiful sort of flush of a real pout, but not pouty, but just a fullness to your lip that really, like, teenagers have. And then as we grow older and we talk more and we create more lines and everything, we slightly lose that volume unless you have it put in. And then across here, I'm going to go over and down, and when I go down, same thing again. I'm going to go in earlier, like this. Just interesting. It's a new way to think about doing your lip. And then go down. So now that lip is being pulled out differently. But it gives you that fullness, and it kind of does this to your cheekbones, because if you make your lip really wide, it sort of does that, which is what I was doing. But I've done now this, and it gives that look. And then I will still put a tiny bit more on my blush, because I've upped the ante on my lip. So I will just build that up there, and the other side. And then you know what I'm going to do? This is a really role reversal for me. I'm going to do something which I never normally do. Sorry, I'm a bit self-conscious now of my tab. I'm going to do an eyeliner moment, because I just thought, that could be quite interesting. So I'm going to take Universe, there, black, and I'm just going to do a little line here. Like it's a sort of tokenism to that sort of film story look of a red lip. You see, just such a tiny bit. And then this side. Starting halfway. I learned at Elizabeth Hurley's wedding in India from a makeup artist doing her makeup who was phenomenal, to start my eyeliner halfway and not right in, because otherwise it closes up your eye. But I'm just going to do the top line. And then I'm sort of drawing it out a tiny bit. So it's not a flick, it's a moment. Do you see? It's a tiny moment. And I'm thinking, do I even close it up? Or do I leave it just at the top? I'm going to go up a little, like that. I sort of like that. You know when you do those filters on your eyes on Instagram and they give you that sort of filtered eye? That's, I feel, what it's doing. And now, I think with this look, I want lashings of mascara. And then we're going to be done. So I'm going to... little mascara here. A little mascara here. There we go. Put that on. So I'm not actually going to soften that line at the top. And I want that last flick to look like it's a part of my eyelash. I think that's why I decided to do mascara. Just to emphasize that sort of slight on the sides. So there, that's really a look using Phoebe on its own with a little bit of Moon on my eyes and then a little bit of Universe just to give me some emphasis. Now, what I would, this is when, you know, I over-egg the pudding, but what I love to do with Phoebe is you can keep it matte or you can go towards a little Cordy. So I'm just going to show you what happens to Phoebe if I introduce it to a little Cordy, if I have any Cordy here. Seem to have everything but Cordy. There we have a Cordy. So I'm just going to take a tiny bit of Cordy and just put it here. And it gives this sort of softness and also more shimmer to the lip. What do you think? Different, huh? A little bit more contrived, but not totally out to lunch. Okay, that's it. We were just doing a soupçon today. I hope I've given to you some inspiration for some looks. Any other questions whilst we're here, Esme?
No, people are just saying they are going to go and buy Phoebe after that. Yeah. They're loving it.
I mean, it's such a wearable shade, and I think it's a shade nearly everyone can do, and you can just do so many things. So I've shown you 3 totally different ways to do it. Have a lovely day.